Saturday evening, everybody. Welcome back to LTL Live. It is October 28th, 2023, and we are going to discuss Chelsea Grimm this evening. And I had quite the hell of a day. I had quite the hell of presentation that I put together. I put some thoughts together. And again, what I do here is just speculate. I speculate based on my opinion. You come here for my opinion. You share your opinion. And, I can be wrong with things as well. Last night when we were listening to the newly released video from SF Investigates, we got that probably 4 to 6 second clip of Chelsea talking with a hotel employee or manager. We're kind of speculating what they had said. And, I just couldn't hear it until we slowed it down and figure out what she was actually talking about. So I get things wrong too. That's why we do this. We hash over the information. We look at it. We listen. And it was like weird. I got attacked in my comments today. Oh, you're clearly wrong. What she's saying. It's this, it's that. Listen, everybody has an opinion. I think that we settled it by the end of the show and have a little better of an understanding. But there has been some more updates through SF Investigates, and we'll get to that this evening. But before I get into the heart of the show, I have a question I know that I have to answer, but I want to read a statement here first before we get into that question. And I know it's the $1 million question right now, and we'll get into that in a second, but I'm going to read a short statement here and just kind of explain my platform. So LTL Podcast is an inclusive platform where individuals with compelling narratives can freely express themselves. Through this platform, I engage with the public by offering my insights and relevant information in the crime cases we delve into. My perspective can aid. If my perspectives can aid in solving any of these cases, I'm more than willing to assist. Whether you have an intriguing story to share or wish to continue our discussion, I encourage you to connect. I highly value your input. Additionally, I respect your privacy. If you choose to share anything off record, I will uphold my journalistic integrity, ensuring those conversations remain confidential and away from public scrutiny. If you decide to allow me to release information, rest assured I will do so only with your permission. Your trust and confidentiality are the utmost important to me and in the interest of LTL Podcast. So I just wanted to read that statement. So I already know the $1 million question. We'll answer this and get this out of the way right now. Did I have a conversation with PJ today? Okay, this is how my day went. I will give you the, what do they call it? The soup to nuts. Is that right? Is that how they say it? Is that the expression, soup to nuts? Okay, so at 11 a.m., I had a planned call with PJ. I was doing the Robert Card update, excuse me, with the live press conference. And it was about 10:55. And I said, I got to go. I got to go. I have a planned call at, I have a planned call with PJ. So 11 a.m. came. I called the number. I didn't hear anything. No one picked up. It went to voicemail. So I texted and I went on with my day. And at about 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as I'm getting wrapped up to get my presentation done for the show, I get a phone call. And it was PJ. And I talked to him for about 30 minutes. And I'm not going to discuss the details of that conversation. I took a lot of notes, but I'm not going to discuss, in-depth detail because I said I wouldn't. But I can say that he talked a lot about Chelsea. He is worried, and he wants to look for her, and he wants to help and assist look for her. So that's, really all I'm going to say right now. Him and I are going to have some more conversations off the record. He does plan to come on alive at some point when he feels comfortable in doing so. So I will leave that up to him. He has my number to get in touch with me, and we will keep building that rapport. And when he feels comfortable, he will come on. If he doesn't, then that's just the way it is. But I have had contact. And again, we spoke for about 30 minutes today. And it was a very interesting conversation. There was a lot of information that was shared. I was able to ask questions. He was very open and honest of the questions that I asked. Oh, there goes my lantern. This thing's been falling all day long. Anyway, we did this all off the record, so I'm gonna be, very private about what we talked about, and we'll have a live at some point. So he has my number. If he's watching the show right now, he can call in if he feels comfortable and he wants to talk. Perfectly fine. My phone number is open, and other than that, we will move on with the show. So that's all I really have to share right now. I have a visitor. What is my visitor? Who is my visitor? I don't see who's the visitor. Who's the visitor? Oh, my lantern. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's been kind of weird lately. That's been happening a lot. Okay, so we'll move on with the show. We have a lot to go through. We might have a little bit of a longer show tonight. But again, I just wanted to share that and be right up front about everything. I'm not going to get into the specific details of what we talked about. He had a lot to say within the 30 minutes that we talked. And, I'm going to respect him in the sense that our conversation was private. And, like I said, I can fill in the roundabout details, but we will continue to talk. And then he said when he feels comfortable, he will come on and, do a show. So it's up to him. I can't force anybody to do anything. My platform is open. He has my number if he wants to call in right now. I know that he was very busy in the sense of trying to get a working vehicle going. And I can share, he said he was heading to Harbor Freight Tools before they closed at like 8 p.m. his time. So I wished him luck. I said, I know you're busy. Why don't you stay in contact with me? He said, is it okay if I text you? I said, absolutely. And you have my number. If you want to call, please call me. We'll keep in touch. And I know he's working on some other things in the aspect of his life this week to try to get things back up and running and getting, some other things going in his life. So I'll leave it at that. I'm going to lose, like I said, I'm using my journalistic integrity right now to keep those things private, but I wanted to update all of you. And that's all I can really share at this point. So anyway, we are going to talk tonight about, by the way, really quick, if you missed this afternoon, this is actually pretty cool. So I woke up this morning because things have been driving me crazy here about not being able to show multiple media tabs when we have a situation like we did up in Maine, because I want to have multiple media running at once. I hate clicking back and forth through tabs. Well, I decided to go on Google Slides today and look at a bunch of stuff and figure some shit out. I used my noodle today. What I figured out is I can have 3 multimedia tabs running at the same time through Google Slides, So what I can do is, if we decide to run a show, I can essentially hit one tab, have this show, and have live feeds coming in all at once, which is awesome. So I don't have to fuck around and flick tabs and all this. We got it right on the screen. And then what I can do is, if I want to mute one, I can mute one out here and bring one up. Oh, look at that. It's the LTL podcast. Oh, look at this. It's the LTL podcast. We can go back and forth and bring this up. I can mute it.
Excuse me, man.
So really cool stuff. Now that I have the ability to do that, I'm super happy. And this should be a feature that StreamYard puts right into their StreamYard. So yeah, I fucked around with it. It will work. I can get live feeds 3 ways. And then if I have to switch to like a website, I can just pop that. So use my noodle. I knew nothing about Google Slides, but learned everything about it in about 5 minutes and figured it out. So it's good for something. Okay. That's not what you came here for. You came here for my opinion on Chelsea Grimm, and we will get to that. We will get to that. All right, let me pull up this presentation. I put about almost 3 hours into this today, and then I got sidetracked because I had that call at 7, and I lost about a half an hour, and I was running around. And as the show starts gearing up, everybody starts texting me and sending me messages, and it gets crazy sometimes. So anyway, we'll go to my presentation. Yeah, fuck around and find out. I like that. Use your noodle. Now do the noodle dance. I am not getting up and I'm not doing the noodle dance. All right, let's talk about Chelsea. So what I have here is a very basic timeline. I'm not going to get into so let's see. Inspector Gadget says, I really like your take on things, LTL. I always come to see what your thoughts are. Thanks for your hard work. Thank you. I appreciate that. And what a great name. What a great name, Inspector Gadget. I broke my 3-way cherry. What a great name. So we'll get into this here. Okay, a basic timeline. I'm not going to get into all the corrections in the timeline. I just want to put this out. I know that there's been a lot of different information here, but I'm going to go with this basic timeline that was put out in the mainstream media. So, okay. So on the 24th, Chelsea left home in San Diego. On the 27th, September 27th, Chelsea met with a friend in Phoenix. September 27th, Chelsea is seen at a hotel in Sligelman, whatever the way you want to say it. I've been corrected 9 million times on this. Slagelman. Let's just say, am I right? Slagelman, whatever. September 27th, last day Chelsea talked with her parents. September 28th, body cam footage shows Chelsea talking with police after police officer in Williams, Arizona. On the September 30th, Chelsea talked with a woodcutter in Ash Fork, Arizona. That has a lot of controversy out over it. It could be debunked. There's been some investigating into that. There was SF Investigates actually talked to the woodcutter, said they never talked to her, that they only saw the vehicle. Again, a lot of back and forth, a lot of speculation on that as well. So I'm not here to hash over all that tonight. I really want to get into what my thoughts are here and in possibilities. So October 4th, parents file missing persons report. Little late, in my opinion. I mean, if my daughter was not responding in 24 to 40 hours, I probably would be really worried. Authorities find Chelsea's SUV outside Ash Fork, Arizona on October 5th. Now, here's a little bit of a map provided by dailymail.com. As you can see, kind of maps everything out here. The 24th leaves San Diego and kind of gets her drive across country. Gives us a visual presentation as to where everything is. Whew, my mouth is super dry. Okay, so now, remember late last night, we had a live breaking news from SF Investigates, and I'll read this if you weren't here and you didn't know about it. So late last night, we were covering Robert Card, and then we had some breaking news come in, and I popped over really quick, and I started kind of putting this out there, seeing what SF Investigates was tweeting about. So here we go. It says, I have left Williams and the search for Chelsea Grimm. Although I hoped to locate Chelsea today, I did find evidence through the eyewitness accounts and video surveillance that may give us reason to cautiously optimistic that Chelsea is alive. I've included a few seconds of a 4-minute surveillance video of Chelsea at a motel and describing her intentions to go off the grid and start a new life in front of the desk person. She changes her mind when checking in because her credit card is trackable. She comes back a second time and has another discussion with a female. This does not prove she is okay and that something did not go wrong in the forest, but it gives us hope that she is trying to make a change in her life and doesn't realize a large-scale attempt to find her is taking place. If that is the case, then this is not deception or faking a disappearance. This is someone that is suffering and trying to find a solution. I'm not going to share the full clip or the full context of the audio. I've sent it into the family's lead PI. As far as I'm concerned, none of the time and effort spent searching for her would be wasted time if this happens to be the case. This surveillance is from September 28th, around 11 a.m. Later that evening is when she got caught on the body cam. So we go forward. And I tweeted back. And I said, SF Investigates, can you share what Chelsea is saying in the clip you posted? It's hard to decipher the audio. Thanks. Hashtag Chelsea Grimm, LTL podcast. He tweets back. That's why he cleared it up and says, that's why I don't actually feel this is a very good idea. She's referring to using her credit card and name because it can be tracked. She then asks if she can use euros, which she does actually have on her. I tweet back and respond and say, thank you for keeping my community in the loop. SF Investigates. We hope that Chelsea is alive and well. Okay. So now, later on that evening, there was another update to that tweet. I'll provide a little more context since many people are messaging that they can't understand what she's saying in the video. I understand it's easier for me since I had the full 4 minutes. Chelsea wants to rent a room. She initially puts down her credit card and then says, actually, that's why I don't think this is a great idea. She says she doesn't want to be tracked by the card or by using her name. She then asks if she can use euros. She actually has euros on her. There is a conversation about why she doesn't want to be tracked, and those details I can't disclose right now. She comes back about 2 hours later and has a conversation with a woman, and even more is disclosed. Later, that same afternoon, she appeared at another business. I also met with them today. This situation is very delicate. It is a balance between privacy and outreach to find Chelsea. Part of the reason I'm disclosing some of these details is to let Chelsea know if she is reading this, we will help you get to a safe space. I don't break promises. Trust me on this. I found that tweet to be right now the most compelling piece of information that has been put out since, 3 weeks ago, since this all started happening. This gives us a lot of information. And what I have to say is, anybody that's doubting this, there is fucking video of it. There's fucking video of it. So if you want to doubt it, I'm sure at some point it will be released. But right now, as far as privacy, there's probably people involved or a situation she's involved in that she doesn't want out there. And this is now going to lead me into my presentation this evening, what I think is going on. The video is there. So if you want to deny it, the video will be there, because I'm going to tell you, someone wouldn't put something out there if the video wasn't there. And I'm sure law enforcement has it as well, or it's been handed over to law enforcement. So there is details in that. So someone wouldn't just say she disclosed all this information if it wasn't on video. Okay, so all the naysayers and all this and the conspiracy theorists, stop. Okay, this is the most solid piece of evidence that we've heard in this situation so far. Okay, I'm very hopeful Chelsea is still alive, and I'll tell you why. When she gets out to the forest and she goes missing, there's items that are taken from her car. A sleeping bag. She takes her bearded dragon, Roxy, and I have discovered that she loves that bearded dragon. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you tonight how much she loves that bearded dragon. She takes clothes with her. She takes wallet and a cell phone. So to me, if someone was essentially kidnapped, you wouldn't say, wait a minute, you're going to kidnap me, but let me just grab all my stuff with me. Okay. Now, she tried using cash to pay for her room. Again, she didn't want to be traced. She didn't want to be tracked. Maybe she didn't have any US money on her. I don't know her cash situation. A lot of people, when they're down in cash, use credit cards and they just keep pinging their credit card until their balance runs out. That could be true. I don't know. Maybe she reached in and wanted to use euros in the sense of, I don't even want to use US cash. Maybe euro, maybe, I don't know. I don't know that whole situation. Maybe she didn't even want to use US cash. Maybe she had cash on her. I'm guessing that she probably didn't have any cash on her and she was just going to charge her way out of the situation. And then she thought about it when she got there and said, well, I don't really want to charge anything because it would be traceable. Okay. During the search, there's no body found. SF Investigate was out there for over a week. Didn't find any body. Police haven't turned up a body. We've seen and it's true. How many people really carry cash? Maybe she didn't think about that. Didn't find a body. We know the land. I thought it was going to be this cavernous, deep, thick forest, caves, waterways, somewhere where you could fall. It doesn't look anything like that. You literally could walk out of that place. Okay. There have been reports that she seemed to be having trouble in her relationship. And that was shared through the media. And we're going to see that. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Why do I think Chelsea's still alive? She went missing in a well-traveled road. There's a very easy way in and a very easy way out. And there was lots of traffic that passed through there. SF Investigates, when he went out there and took video of the place, he said, I was here for an hour or 2 hours, and literally 4 or 5 or 6 cars had already passed me already. It's a well-traveled area. It's an easy way in, easy way out. He said the landscape, the dirt road that you go up and down to get in out of there, it's not crazy. You could get in there with a car. You didn't need an all-terrain vehicle or a four-wheel drive vehicle to travel that road. It would be an easy road to get in and out of. The 2 flat tires seem weird to me. So what did I do? I asked Google, what are the odds of getting 2 flat tires? Chances of having 2 punctured based on statistics at once is therefore about 1 in 100,000, or 1 in 10, or 1 in 10 million miles. 1 in 100,000 chances of that happening, or 1 in 1 million miles. It's odd. It does not happen. It essentially does not happen. To me, that seems like someone let the air out of the tires. Was it Chelsea? It could have been. Maybe, maybe someone was there to pick her up. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I don't want to, it statistically does not happen. Okay. The disappearance seemed like a setup for distraction. Hang on a second. I just want to, I can't decrease that. All right. Because it's cutting off a little bit. So I'm sorry about that. The disappearance to me seemed like a setup for distraction. You get in an area, you flatten both tires, you leave your vehicle, you're in a well-traveled road, you get out of there. Where's law enforcement going to go? Law enforcement's going to converge in that area. Where are they going to be looking for multiple days for you? In and around that area. So it buys time for you to get out of there, in my opinion. You now have law enforcement just concentrating in that area, and they searched what a 3-mile radius in and around that area and didn't find anything. No trace, no blanket left somewhere, no tent, no sleeping bag, no shoe, no cell phone, no money, no credit card, no ID, nothing. Gone. No seam of a struggle. Nothing seemed out of place inside of the car except for the items that were taken. The tent was gone, the sleeping bag, her wallet, her cell phone, the bearded dragon, all went with her. But what did she leave? She left her camera. Camera seemed very important to her. Maybe she knew that she was going to go away for a little while and she would be reunited with her camera when she reemerges. Or maybe she was documenting herself leaving and getting away. That's why she took the selfie pictures. That's why she took the pictures with the flowers right where her car was, leaving the car behind, knowing that she was leaving. Maybe these things were special to her. Her car, she's leaving that behind. She's sad. She's in that cemetery crying over this. This is going to be a big life change, or this is going to be the opportunity that I can get away. She's been to a retreat in Arizona before and in and around the same area. And I knew this was going to screw up. And she found religion. She's been very religious and writes a lot about religion. And we see that. Okay. It's been rumored that she followed this kind of spiritual guru around the area that has a wellness facility. And I talked about that in my map, and I showed the wellness facility that's in and around that area. Could there be a possibility that she checked herself in somewhere and said, hey, I don't want to be found? Could she still be in Arizona? Quite possibly. She didn't want to be tracked. There was reports that she struggled with drugs and mental health. Maybe this is an opportunity now to get away from a situation, to clean herself up, to reemerge healthy and vibrant, free of all of this. Okay, so we have quotes from the parents. Nothing more was seen of her until her car was found abandoned by hunters in the forest on October 5th, a day after her parents reported her missing. Here we go, from her father. There is a chance she got a ride out of there, said her father. She seemed to leave that car in a very organized way on her own volition and taken her wallet, and we think her phone and her sleeping bag, among other things, along with the bearded dragon. Chelsea has always had a special spot in her heart for children, elderly people, and animals, and she would never leave an animal in the car, said Janet. She just wouldn't do it. So I think that is a very hopeful sign. I forgot to do this. I'm sorry. Angus Hull has become a new member of the group. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I just literally saw that. I thank you so much. Let's recognize that. Okay. You still with me? Everybody's still with me? Hopefully. Hopefully I don't sound too crazy here. I know a lot of people are gonna go, "Yeah, you're so wrong, dude. You're so wrong on this. What the hell, man?" Hey, it's just my opinion. It's just one of my opinions, one of the things that came into my brain. Could be a possibility. We don't know, but it's hopeful. It's hopeful. Okay, let's keep moving on here. So, another quote from her parents. She seemed pretty uneasy the last 2 days, her father admitted. She was upset with a boy she was dating. She was scared of him. We feel like she was running away from him. And I think overall that was affecting a lot of her mindset. Again, that is a quote from her parents. Chelsea's sister, Sarah McCarthy Grimm, warned Facebook followers that Chelsea's ex boyfriend was claiming to be her fiance and had set up a phony GoFundMe appeal to help with the search. Again, that is not my words. That is what her family has put out there. So, again, still very hopeful. A lot of things are starting to add up here, in my opinion. Now that we know what was said in that video, are you still with me? Okay, so now I go in and I look at this. And this was posted to her Instagram on 9/24/23. We talked about the outcast vines. But the thing that's very interesting to me and that caught my attention here said, "Poor PJ, God bless and protect him." Now, I'm only speculating because I don't know. But if there was trouble in the relationship, she obviously still cares about him. But let's say that she wants to leave or get away or just get away from all of this. She obviously still cares. And if you're going away and someone that you care about and you may leave for a while, you want them to be protected. Correct? Quite possible. There's also some very interesting verses here that are highlighted, and you see the different highlighted areas here, and we've gone over those. And I find this to be a very interesting passage. Then the word of the Lord came to me and said, "Son of man, how is the wood of the vine better than any other wood? The vine branch, which is among the trees of the forest, is wood taken from it to make any object, or can men be a peg from it to hang any vessel on? Instead, it is thrown into the fire with fuel. The fire devours both ends of it. In the middle is burned. It is useful for any work." Maybe this is a rebirthing. Maybe this is something to start over. Vines, what do? Vines grow. And then the vines behind them die as new vines grow. Maybe this is a new life. Maybe this is a new chapter. And we're going to talk about a new chapter here in a little bit. Carrie H with the 499. Thank you so much. Carrie says, "I'm really enjoying the presentation tonight. Thank you." Yes, Ezekiel 15:2. Healing Time says Phoenix Ashes. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate that. So we'll move on. I'm hopeful that Chelsea's still alive. Quotes from Chelsea's parents. Father Stephen Grimm said his daughter was spontaneous. She changed plans a lot. This wasn't the first time she ever changed plans for sure. Why do I feel she's had a history of things like this? Has she disappeared in the past? Has she had a troubled past of this? Disappearing, showing up, going off grid? Not to this extent, but maybe she's the type of person that runs away from her problems. Maybe it had gotten so bad that she needed to get away, just clear her mind, try to settle everything, restart and start over. Another thing that I look at, remember my map, my Google map, and look at the crowding of the pins, all the sightings, all the areas she was in and around in Arizona. It's very interesting to me. What were you doing in that area? She circled for a couple of days, almost like she could have been formulating this plan. getting this plan together. Where do I go? It could be a possibility. She's thinking about it. She's trying to get this plan rock solid tight. How am I going to do it? Was she waiting for a friend from somewhere further out state, maybe another state, coming to pick her up and get her out of there? It is a possibility. Isaiah 10:4, Bella says Isaiah 10:14. So we do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Hailing Time says, I'm going to go back up here. She said real quick. We'll take a pause for a second so I can breathe a little bit. She says, I can see how emotionally invested Brian is in this case. I literally wake up every day and I probably say 10 to 20 times a day, Chelsea, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I literally do that. I did it at dinner tonight. I tweeted about it and I posted on my Instagram. And then she said, if I ever go missing, I want Brian on the case ASAP. Again, I'm not an investigator. I'm just throwing my opinion out there. You know, what I think. Only what I think. Okay, let's move forward. So this, to me, is a very interesting area of concentration too. Look where the pins are. They're all in that area. What was she doing? Why was she circling that area? And we followed her pins. It's almost like she went east and then changed her mind and was going to go home and then went back east again and then went west and then went north. Why? That's an extra slide. Sorry about that. Okay. So things that I found out, you know, doing a little bit more investigating today, and pretty generic things that we can talk about. To me, she was very organized and planned. She used to write lists. She used to write lists, and she was very good at writing a list, you know, keep her on track or keep things planned. She loved that bearded dragon, Rosie. And I don't think that she would go anywhere or do anything to hurt that bearded dragon. She had plans to sell her art, and you're going to see that. You're going to see that. And she seemed to have a lot of self-worth and feelings of new beginnings. And I pick up on that now. You know, before I was saying, when I first started covering this case, you know, remind me a lot of my brother in the sense of the things that he went through and the signs that we should have seen before what happened to him. But I see almost like a self-worth and spiritual awakening, someone that's yearning for a new beginning. And again, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but this is a hopeful opinion because we want Chelsea to come home. And I always say this, Chelsea, if you're watching any of this, we all care about you. Your friends care about you. Your family cares about you. We want you to come home. And you can call me. You can text me. You can email me, 774-855-9400. You want to email me, let's talk live podcast at gmail.com. We're here to help. This community wants to bring you home and bring you home safe. Hang on one second. Okay. So we'll move on. So now let's talk about how would someone go off the grid? How would someone go off the grid? Well, one, I think they would plan. That's evident. They would plan. How would someone do it? So what you would want to first do is dissolve your affiliations. You're going to distance yourself from friends and family or any type of relationship. That probably would be one of the first steps that you would do or get into. Then what would you do? You would dissolve your assets. You would start selling anything you have. You would downsize your life. You would close out or don't use credit cards. And what did we find out in that video? She didn't want to use her credit card. She didn't want to be traced. She didn't want to be tracked. You would leave possessions behind. Well, what did she do? She left her car behind. She left probably 80% of the items in her car behind. Maybe she's trying to make this look like it was, foul play. You would use only cash, hence the euros. Maybe she didn't have any US cash on her. Maybe she didn't think about that. Maybe this thought ran across her mind a couple of hundred times, and now she's in the correct scenario to get out of a situation that she may be in, and she didn't think this far ahead. It was spontaneous. She had a couple of days in the Phoenix and in around Ashfork and Williams to maybe conjure up this plan to get a friend a day or two away, maybe out in another state, to come pick her up and get her out of there. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I have hope. I have hope. Or maybe the reality of the situation when she got out there, shit, I don't have cash. That's probably a bad idea. I don't want to give you my card. It can be traced. It can be tracked. We don't know. But if people were saying, well, maybe she flew out of the country, maybe she had the euros to go to Europe and get out, she would need a passport, and passports are traceable. And I'm sure that's one of the first things they looked at. Did she use a passport anyway? Did she have a passport? Did she fly anywhere? So no, I don't think she flew anywhere. She definitely drove. And I think that someone came and picked her up. So then what would you do? You would get offline. You would stop phone and all social media activities. And that essentially just stopped around what, the 27th or the 28th, right when she called her parents and let them know, hey, I'm going to go offline for a couple days. I'm going to camp. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to go off grid. Don't be worried. I'll be in contact, et cetera, et cetera. Now, where do you go? Well, you want to go somewhere where you're going to keep a low profile, where someone's not going to find you. Another state, a friend's house, a treatment facility, a wellness center. Maybe you go somewhere that's familiar to you, but to not a lot of people in your life. Maybe only a special place that you know about. Somewhere where you can go, hide, get off grid, and not worry about anything. And you would travel the country and find a small, out-of-the-way place that you can just be forgotten about and plant yourself for a little while. These are all possibilities. And my conclusion is, I think she got into Arizona. She thought about some things. Maybe she had a push-pull relationship with this thought for quite a while. There's obviously something that she wants to get away from. We've heard all the things that her parents had said. Maybe it was drugs, maybe a relationship, maybe just the situation of being in San Diego. I don't know. I don't live her life, and I never have. And I've never been friends with her, and I don't know her life. I'm only going what's been put out there in the media. She gets into this situation, and now she has the real opportunity to get away. She gets to an area that would be easily found, but it's kind of out of the way. Someone drives in. Maybe they're a state away, a couple of states away. Maybe she's still in Arizona, and she's right there, and she's hiding. Friend picks her up. They stage the disappearance or kidnapping or whatever you want to call it at this point, and she's gone. She vanishes. She goes into hiding. Again, all possibilities. Just my speculation. I may be wrong. I may be right. But it's not a bad theory. It's not a bad theory. Okay, my friends, what I want to do now is let's go over SF Investigates timeline, because really, I mean, he was really the boots on the ground out there, and um I want to just see what he said and found out there, and we can show a little bit of the video from out there again. Maybe it backs up my theory a little bit. And we have to know that Arizona has a lot of treatment facilities, and we know that she befriended um, someone that is believed to have a treatment facility. So it could be, maybe she's out there. Maybe she got taken in by someone. There are free facilities out there that help people, battered women or drug addictions, people that will take you in and help, a host family. There's things like that that happen. Church, maybe she went to a church. A church will volunteer. A church would take her in. Maybe there's a church rehabilitation rehab out there that she looked into. Again, I see everybody, things cost money, things cost this. There are people out there that are kind people that will help and do it for free. So that is a reality of the world out there. It does happen. Again, I don't know, and I'm only speculating, but I think it's a damn good speculation. I still think Chelsea's out there. I still think Chelsea is out there alive. I think that she's getting well, and I think that she will emerge at some point when she's ready. So we go back to October 17th. I'll be in Ash Fork, Arizona on Wednesday afternoon to spend a few days searching for Chelsea Grimm. We'll kind of take you through the timeline here. If anyone has coordinates that Chelsea Grimm vehicle was found off the Forest Service Road 6, you can DM them to me. I do have a call to a local SAR, but your help would be appreciated. Some of her friends are in touch, but they do not have them. Let's go up. So running more grid searches out in Buckeye Desert because quitting on a missing person shouldn't be an option. If anyone has coordinates for Chelsea's Grimm vehicle, we already talked about. Now I have the coordinates and more information, which I've kept confidential. I'll be heading there tomorrow. Thank you very much to Chelsea's friend, who I won't name, that made a connection to her family in the Investigator. I'll do my best. I'll be at search tomorrow, help find some answers for the family. And here's some of the drone video here. Scanning drone footage of AI detection from a missing person search in Buckeye early today. And you can see, I mean, this is not a crazy landscape. It's flat. You can see a dry riverbed there. The trees and the shrubs are low. You literally could walk out of there. You literally could walk out of there. You literally could walk out of there. We'll go up. Got to Ash Fork to search for Chelsea Grimm, kind of late, but I'll get an early start tomorrow. Got one drone flight in to get a sense of the area after driving about 7 miles in it. It's not an area I would love being alone in. Absolutely. It's a desert. It's vast. This is interesting here. Let's play this. This is from that. Not that bad. Any back road that you would be on, any back dirt road that you would be on. Y'all could do me a favor, just smash that like button. We're only at 68 likes. I'd love to get this up to 100 likes. I would appreciate it. I want to reach 100 likes before we head out for the evening. hang on one second. Just want to do something here. Okay. All right, let me go up here. So this Forest Service Road 124 that connects to the road Chelsea Grimm's vehicle was found on, about 13 miles into the country. It is not the four-wheel drive kind of road I expected. It would also be hard to get lost. There are roads and water tanks everywhere. Regarding the Chelsea Grimm search, I am about to go back up in the area of the vehicle. Since the location has been disclosed by others online, I've received permission to share my SARTOP map. This will track me in real time by GPS since there's no cell service. This is for my safety since I am alone. I am armed and not worried about the environment, but accidents can happen anywhere. This is why everyone knows my exact location, as it shows my real-time tracking line. If I don't check by 9 p.m., there is a problem. Otherwise, I will be fine. There is times when you don't see me moving much because I am flying a drone missions. I'm hoping to find Chelsea today. Thank you, everyone, who tracked me today. I'm excited. I've exited the forest. I haven't looked through my tweets yet. I have about an hour on the highway to get back to the hotel. I mapped a lot of the area by drone. It's much different than expected. I'll recap you when I get to the hotel. In the meantime, I will tweet a few videos of the terrain and location of the car, then give more detailed debrief when I am on the hotel. Thanks for watching over me. There is no service most of the time. And here we go here. We'll put it.
This is to give an idea of the area. Probably about a mile and a half from the first area where I launched the drone. I'm guessing about 3 miles from where the car was. But this is, you could walk out of here, no problem. And the road's been like, in fact, this is the worst part of the road so far. It's been, as hard as pavement up until when I got off on the 124, and I'm on the 6 now. So this is it's confusing because if you broke down, car was disabled, whatever, it would not be a hard walk out of here. And there are a lot of hunting camps around. Now, granted, a month ago there wasn't as many, but it just it's not rugged terrain.
Okay, so now we go up here. This is the video driving to the location that Chelsea Grimm vehicle was found. It's far different terrain and area than I expected. I leave today's search confused about the circumstances. Before I give a longer debrief, I see there is talk about the tires on Chelsea Grimm's vehicle. I talked to the sergeant that is head of SAR. When they encountered the vehicle the evening of the 5th, both passenger tires were flat. Car locked up and no keys inside. They don't know about fuel level because they couldn't start the engine. But when they made forced entry into the vehicle, the alarm went off, so the battery was not dead. I spoke to the gentleman and his grandson who saw the car on the 30th, and I fully believe when he says the tires were not flat. The car was right in the middle of the road, so they looked up to see if the car was visibly disabled, and that's why they left, and there were nothing obvious. Something I will add in just my opinion, because everything is still on the table in this case. Abductions and or assaults are violent. Things are broken, blood is splattered, hair is pulled, clothes are ripped off. Here, the car was locked, alarm set, the lizard was not left in the car. If this is an abduction or assault, it's a very courteous one. That's interesting as well, too. Here's the things that I can wrap up and disclose from Chelsea Grimm's search. The area is not rugged at all. The road is in very good shape. You don't even need an SUV. If you were to break down out there, you could easily walk out if you're in decent shape. The car was blocking the road. This caught the attention of the local hunter and grandson who saw the car twice on the 30th. They specifically looked to see if the tires were flat, and if there was a reason, it would be left blocking the road. They said the tires were not flat. I 100% believe them. The sheriff's department approached the car 5 days later. The passenger side tires were flat. Not known about the fuel because keys were not inside. There are several camps in the area, but hunting season opens tomorrow. They have been there for a month scouting. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. I would have zero issues camping out there alone. Her ex-boyfriend and his friend in Arizona have set up a $30,000 GoFundMe right away. One of them made a video about me this morning, bitching that I am being paid and that they had raised no money. There seems to be a credible eyewitness account from the area. I can't discuss that though. I'm going to search tomorrow. Something is off. That's for certain. I think the next 72 hours, the case will reveal itself. I could be very wrong. This is a fucking strange one. And we'll play this.
So this is the exact spot that Chelsea's car was found. Sheriff's Department does have a missing person poster up there. It's also that's the first sign I've really come across the whole way here. There's also a turnout. Like, she came from this direction coming this way, but there's a turnout right here, like where my car is. But apparently she stopped right here in the middle. It's flat. It's easily walkable. Lost person behavior would probably tell you that she'd keep going straight, which is mainly where they searched. But I just have a feeling that because it's so flat and easy coming in, and she knew that she may go back out the same way. But they did search. I've got their search grids, their lines that they searched by air and by ground, and they did a bunch to the west, some to the east, not a lot north, very little to the south. So I think I'm going to do, I've flown a couple drone flights already. I think I'm going to do some of the south. That takes you into pretty heavy tree line, no, except they're not real tall trees. And then north, although it's private property, she would have to cross a fence line eventually, but she may just walk that way because there's these windmills up there, and that would give you the illusion, or not the illusion, it would let you know that there's a road there. So, but this is a good road, so I don't know. It's very strange situation.
Okay. All right, let's go back out. It says this is a video of the exact spot Chelsea Grimm's vehicle was found. I'm puzzled by this disappearance. It's not like anything a typical mountain disappearance. I'll be back tomorrow, though. For anyone that wants to track me today, he's talking about tracking. Today is a request to lead private investigator in Chelsea Grimm's case. He's in the field working leads. With the permission of the lead detective, I viewed the search of Chelsea's vehicle at the police impound. I cannot disclose what I found in the car, but there were significant amounts of evidence since it was made public, but conflicting stories. I can confirm the passenger side tires were flat. They were not slashed or purposely deflated. I'm meeting with a witness in a few minutes and then driving back to LA tonight because I have plans this weekend with someone I cannot cancel on. I have been asked by the investigator to come back to Arizona Monday to continue the investigation and search efforts for Chelsea Grimm, and I will do so. So it said here, the tires were not slashed, but they were flat. It's very interesting. And then we seen the drone footage of the area. Again, it's very flat, not overly, dry riverbeds. There's water out there. You can easily walk out. You can easily walk out. You can easily walk out. Look, it's flat. And I mean, if someone's out there dead, or a blanket, or a tent, or a fire, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. You would see evidence. Looks like there's some vehicles right here. Probably the drone flying back. Yeah, it's the drone flying back. But, I mean, you can see. Again, more video. This is 20 minutes video. We watched this the other night. It's just flat land, flat, dry land. A little bit of a wooded area here, but not dense forest. Something that you could literally walk through. You would be able to get shade during the day. Dry. You would see someone there if they were on the ground via a drone. Just more talking about the investigation. The GoFundMe, again, do not donate to that GoFundMe. And just more investigation, stuff that we've talked about, we've gone over. And I think just the most compelling piece of information that we got was this. And we saw that video yesterday.
Very good idea. Oh, okay, no problem, no problem. That's why I actually filmed this. It's a very good idea. Oh, okay, no problem, no problem. That's why I actually filmed this. It's a very good idea. Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay. So what I want to do here is, wow, I'm blue, baby, boo, doo, boo, boo, is end with some Instagram stories from Chelsea's Instagram. And I find this interesting. It says, my new chapter, first day to as a official full-time therapist. And I just want to go through some of this. I'm going to click through them. So this is 24 weeks ago. "23 weeks ago. Smiling, seems healthy. 21 weeks ago. 20 weeks ago. 20 weeks ago. 20 weeks ago. 20 weeks ago. Again, my new chapter. Maybe she's collecting all this, taking photos and pictures to be reminded of where she was. Maybe this was the happy time. And again, I'm only speculating. Maybe this is a sign of a new beginning. A lot of sunsets, a lot of sunrises, a lot of sunsets. Celebrating someone's sobriety. This is where the bearded dragon is. 13 weeks ago. I got a lot of information about that today, Carrie, but I cannot disclose that.
He's being very nice.
It's private right now. I got a lot of deep insight into their relationship today. I just cannot talk about it. I'm gonna, I'll let him do that if he chooses to do that. But I got a lot of that in the 30-minute phone call today. "13 weeks. We're getting close." Thank you, Just Debbie. I appreciate that. Trying to do my best. Trying to do my best. Again, I'm just giving my opinion. This is just my opinion. What I see and what I'm feeling. She looks great here. She looks healthy. Here's Rosie. This is 9 weeks out. Now it's going to start getting a little bit more interesting. Seems organized. Eight weeks out. Again, maybe this is remembering, knowing that she's leaving this. And I'm only speculating, capturing this to remember it. Not being able to know that, turning over a new leaf, just wanting to remember stuff that was happy, good times. Can tell. A lot of love for that bearded dragon. That bearded dragon didn't go anywhere without her. 7 weeks out. Now, this is what I found very interesting. 6 weeks out. Bible, very organized. Picture of her parents. I don't know who the other individual's up. Looks like her family or parents up there as well. I don't know who the gentleman is to the left, but very organized. There's some of the Bible verses that are highlighted. And obviously, thinking of her parents, I would assume she looks like she has a photo of her parents. That's a bookmark. She has her books from school, mental health books. Five weeks out.
I tried to put her in like one of the things you hold babies in. And it's just a scarf that I wrapped around. And she climbed up it and now into my hair. You see her, guys? Say hi, Ross.
Loves that dragon.
I don't know if she said hi or not. I can't see her. We don't use words. All right, for all of my friends who've been asking if I'm okay.
All right, this is the most interesting one. Or close to one of the most interesting ones, but we'll listen here if you haven't heard it.
Okay, I am. I'm just really sick of texting all the same answers to everyone. I love and appreciate your concern. Want to see my kitchen? Yeah, actually, I never show you guys my home, do I?
Probably going to get nailed for the song. Son of a gun.
That's where I work sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just going to do this.
Okay. Mole, tamales, comfort food, pollo. It's re-steaming with mole on it now. Anyway, besos. Love y'all. Bye.
5 weeks out. She's got a stick shift. Looks like she wants to go somewhere. She's got her self-portrait, the road in front of her, and I just can't make out this bottom photo. Maybe he's getting some supplies somewhere or something like that. Now, I'm going to not play the audio for this one because I'm going to probably get nailed for it, copyright. But this is her driving. 5 weeks out. Where was the one that I wanted to show? I think it's this one. Okay, this is interesting. This little memorial here, this is 4 weeks out. This little memorial here is a memorial of all missing persons. It's a memorial of missing persons. Why would someone show that? Was she thinking about it then, going off the grid? You know, thinking, will there be a missing person poster of me when I go off the grid? Why would someone post that? Now, this is very interesting. This is out in Arizona, 4 weeks. Okay, you have a candle, so you're burning a candle. She has incense going. She's relaxing. Her Bible, her prayer beads. Now, what does it go down to? This notebook with New York City on it. And watch what she does to this notebook. She's got a little weed pipe there. You can see it. But watch what she does. She zooms in and gives New York the peace sign and says, bye. And then scans here. Now, let me throw this out there. Could it be a possibility? Could it be a possibility? Let me fix my lighting here. Could it be a possibility that someone came into the desert and picked her up and drove her out of there? And she's in New York City. I heard she lived there for a while. She knows her way around the city. And going to New York City would be a pretty easy spot to disappear. Now, again, I'm just speculating. And these are things that I throw around in my head. It could be a possibility. Maybe that was a sign. Maybe she's throwing all these little signs along the way. I'm going to go away for a while. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to disappear. Now, again, I'm not saying this on the record that this happened. It's only pure speculation. But it could be a possibility. It could be a possibility. And she shows the hat. We see that hat at the hotel. We see that hat at the hotel when she's in the lobby. Yeah, let's watch that again. Let's watch it again. Here it is. Here's the peace sign. Peace. See you soon. Maybe it's see you soon. Maybe she's going to find peace there. See you soon. And look at the bag. New York. Look at the bag. New York. It's interesting. There's a note or a plan that she had that I saw. And she had New York on it. See the bag? New York. Let's go back and watch it again. It's in Connecticut. Here it comes. Here's the bag. 4 weeks out. It's hot. It's a hot 97 morning, y'all. Paint the town red. Doja Cat. 4 weeks out. Last photo. Bible study was quick this morning, but also reaffirming off to Arizona to see my girlie. And that's it. And the Lord said to me, do not fear him, for I have delivered him and all his people and his land into your hand. You shall do to him as you do. I can't read that. Do to, I don't know what that says. I can't read it. It's smudged. Maybe someone knows the verse, and I apologize if I'm reading it wrong. Of the armories who dwelt at Hashborn. 9:25:23. King of defeat. So anything's a possibility. All these cities were fortified with the high walls, gates, and bars, besides a great many rural towns, and we utterly destroy them. So the Lord our God also delivered into our hands, oath King of Bastion, with all of his people, and we were attacked him until he had no survivors remaining. Look more like deuces, which is goodbye. It's a great catch, Ron. I like that. And waving by, maybe knowing that she's going to go there and disappear. Again, I'm only speculating. I don't know. But it's not bad. It's not a bad speculation. Looked like she was making something there with some sayings in it. Some quotes. See this kind of, this thing here? Look at that. It's like a, that's it. Ah, AZ. Chapter is about victory over the enemy. Very good. Nice catch. Sorry, I'm not versed in the Bible. Bella says she was searching for spiritual guidance. It's a possibility. But I believe that Chelsea is alive. I believe she's getting well, and she's somewhere. She's somewhere here in the United States, and she's in hiding and getting herself well. That's what I think right now. That's what I think right now. It's a mystery. Eliza says she, she was searching and is still searching. I think it's quite possibility. Well, let's do this before we end the podcast tonight. Let's throw some yellow hearts in the room for Chelsea. Let's do that. Let's see those yellow hearts. Let's see the yellow hearts. And then we'll end this for tonight. Trying to keep down on the lives, not going too long anymore. Thank you. Appreciate all those yellow hearts. Appreciate all the yellow hearts. We will keep on this, my friends. We will keep doing streams about Chelsea as new information comes through. If you missed it at the beginning of the podcast, I did have a conversation with PJ today, and I'm not going to disclose too much of that information because I'm going to use my journalistic integrity, because I told him I wouldn't. I can talk about in a roundabout ways things that we talked about, but I'm not going to give intimate details as him and I are still building some rapport. He does plan on coming on the podcast at some point, so it's up to him. I can't make people come here. But I got about a half an hour interview with him today, and he talked a lot, and there was a lot of information that he gave me, and there's so much more that he wants to tell me. So we'll leave it at that. I appreciate everybody being here this evening, and we're going to end this stream here. And what I'm going to do is we are going to do an after show. So if you're a member, you can head over to the after show. We're going to hang out over there for a little while, let the adults talk. And if you want to come over and hang out, all you got to do is go down there below and click on the membership tab. I'm sorry, you can just hit join. And my membership started at $1.99. That's the after show. That's for members only. And we're going to head over there and hang out, maybe about a half an hour or so. But I appreciate everybody being in the chat this evening. We had about 100 people. That was great. And we will continue to follow the Chelsea Grimm story. I will not give up on this. And I have made a commitment to her friends and that I will continue to follow this until Chelsea comes home. So we'll keep digging into this. Again, this presentation tonight is only my speculation, my interpretation of what I'm seeing right now, and my hope that Chelsea is alive and well and getting help and that she'll come home safe. So head over to the after show if you want to join us. You can do it right now and become a member. My membership started at $1.99. That's it. $1.99. Carrie with the $4.99. She's a great presentation. Thank you for covering this with care. Absolutely. I always do. Only $1.99 to come hang out. Only $1.99 to come hang out. All right, head over to the after show. I'm going to shut this one down. I'll see you over there in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk a little bit more freely in the after show. Do it open platform. Okay, see you in a bit.